Welcome! This is how it starts! Hello! I'm Flutterprist, you guys know me already, but today I have with me a bunch of people. Like, this is the biggest group ever. I'm just basically gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Let's start with the one who has the most tasty name, which is Admiral Biscuit.
Hello, I'm Admiral Biscuit. I write stories about ponies mostly, and that's pretty much it. I'm the king of slice of life.
He's the one who's dancing in the air, so people know which OC belongs to him. That's him. What's the name of the current one you are writing, if that's okay I ask?
I just published a one-shot today called Buttons about a pony working on the railroad.
Ooh.
And I've got a whole bunch in progress because I'm terrible about finishing things.
That's fair. Can be hard to finish stuffies. Let's see. And then we have what I call Space! Say hello, Space.
You know, I'm insulted that you're saying that the name Enigmatic Otaku is not the most delicious sounding name.
Well, I'm sorry. I like biscuits more than otakus. And I don't want to eat people.
I'm Enigmatic Otaku. I've written some stories. One of the most proud of is called the Soothsay Pact.
Ooh. Fancy.
Yeah. You can move on to the next person now.
Aw, stage fright.
Oh.
Let's see. Fiora is joining us when she can, but I think most of you guys who are coming to the Chillin' Chats knows her already. She's the green one who looks like Starswold the Bearded and are summoning us next person that we're going to introduce, which is Flutterprist.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Flutterprist. I am currently the 29th most followed person on Fanfiction at the time of recording. Currently working on a story called Office Love, which I've been working on for probably the better part of a decade. And hopefully I can get that done this coming year. Yeah, I'm here to make this all about me and be the center of attention.
Which fits pretty well, since he is also the one being summoning by Fiora. Let's see, then we have the adorable therapy bat.
Yeah, hi, I'm Heartshine.
Big Hello.
Yes. I love the bat. It's great. I'm, I guess, most known for probably writing Fallout Equestria, and then also a very silly story about Fluttershy being a reincarnated bunny.
Aww, I like that one!
So, but yeah. Yeah, that's me.
Wait, which Fallout Equestria did you write?
I write Fallout Equestria Speak, and then I also helped edit Project Horizons for a while.
Hey, that's cool. My OC here is also from Fallout Equestria.
Oh, nice.
This is how he tries to make friends.
Is it working?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And then we have the smooth walker of the OCs, which is Vivid. Would you be so kind to say hello?
Hi there. I'm the only one that doesn't have a horse avatar, so I'm feeling way out of place. But good to meet you. Thank you for having. Yeah. Just in the Discord call. But it's good to meet you. It's good to be here. If you've seen some of my stuff, you might have seen my epic romance sensation. Or the other place you might have seen my work is at any of the Midwestern Brony conventions and a few of the other ones. I tend to write scripts for the live readings that the guests of honor do at the various different conventions.
Ooh, cool. Didn't know that one.
Yep, currently working on another one for Ciderfest, so you should come to Ponyville Ciderfest and watch our guests of honor say some really crazy things that I will make come out of their mouths.
That's fair. Hey! Putsterino. Yes, I can pronounce things, I promise.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, you all have been gathered. You might all wonder why I've been gathering all of you today, and you probably do not wonder because
Because
you
we're
were told.
teenagers. Because we're teenagers with attitude, and you need us all to fight some ancient evil using the morphing grid.
Yes.
I resent being called a teenager.
How old are you?
44, I think.
Hi, Dad.
He thinks.
Yeah, y'all got my shirt. Somebody do the math.
It's true. I could just
Oh.
literally go grab your shirt in the other room.
Oh yeah, it is in the other room. Yeah, I was gonna say, right. Oh, that's where the established came from.
Exactly.
It was the day he embarked upon his mortal coil.
I started learning about writing slice of life very early.
Yeah, this is going swimmingly.
Yeah.
When you say early, are you talking about like preschool age, or what was the was there some like children's book that you read it and thought this is way too whimsical, way too high fantasy? I want to read about Dora the Bunny's time shopping and all the emotional impact she can get out of buying the right kind of cereal.
The second one, I would say. Although my distinct memories are pretty blurry from the late 70s. So.
From the alcohol, yes.
He was a child!
Listen, writers start early.
That's fair. That's actually okay. Yeah.
So, quick question: who here started reading picture books?
Manga?
I mean,
Like,
Do you
Yeah.
mean
I
manga?
mean,
No.
I remember the first book I ever read. It was this story about a dog named Spot and a boy named Bill that threw the ball, and Spot brought the ball back. And I remember thinking, this isn't how anything works. Dogs don't bring balls back. You got to train them for that. It's not just like something that happens.
Yes, it is.
Suspension of disbelief lost.
No, that happens. My
No,
dog
they
did
legit-
that.
You know,
I didn't have to.
when
You
I
know-
was-
Sorry.
we're all cutting. We need a system here.
we do need a system.
Raise your hand. No, wait a second. We're not in the same room.
If you-
Raise
if you
your
figure-
hooves.
Ah.
Ma- No, wait, that's a terrible idea. Never mind.
But what I was gonna say was my favorite picture book as a child was, and I loved it because of the colors. It was called Brown Bear, What Do You See? And then the artwork and the pic and the colors, just you gotta look at pictures of it. I can't describe it.
So, like, my library when I was a kid legitimately had basically how it's made books for kids,
No.
which was amazing. So I learned all sorts of things like how cement is made.
Cool.
Man, they're teaching you to work hard labor at a young age.
I know. That's the nice thing about growing up in the country.
And I thought it was bad thing that I was taught how to hunt and climb and find poisonous or non-poisonous food in the forest.
Okay,
Yeah,
I misheard
that's
you.
useful.
It sounded like you said. It sounded like you said how to hunt and do crime.
You know, forest crime.
I think that'll be my new.
Like the raccoons do.
That'll be my new published book venture: is to write children's book about how to bury a body in the forest.
I
Oh,
think it's important to get that right.
Uffado.
Also, hi Fiora.
Hi Fia! Help me! Taskete! Oh boy. Fia?
She's on mute.
Ah.
She's burying a body in the forest.
No!
Yep.
Stop it.
Oh, sorry.
She's
No,
burying
it-
an acorn in the forest and
Yes.
is going to grow into a beautiful oak tree.
Yay! I like that a lot better.
and we can turn it into a library.
Yeah!
can make anything wholesome.
You know, I think there was the fairy tale about why those sakura trees, the petals are red, is because a body was buried underneath that tree.
Dude, they're pink, not red.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Hi,
The
Fia.
story goes that blood seeped into the plant's roots, and that's why it mixed with the white, making pink.
I can't remember what it is, but there's some kind of flower that changes color if you bury a murder weapon next to it.
Interesting topic, right?
I do know that the rhododendrons change color, but that has more to do with soil acidity.
Yeah.
They switch colors from, I think it's pink to blue if it's more acidic. So you can actually change the colors over like a period of weeks if you want to, depending on the pH level of the water you give them.
Can you find like a middle spot where they're like purple?
Yep. Yes, you
I
can.
think so, yeah.
That seems like a fun like kind of like challenge. Keep the
Well, multicolor
flowers purple.
multicolor LEDs work by switching between red and green really fast. So if you just pour like alternating water on it really fast, that should be the effect you get.
I mean that's fair, but
Or you
we're
could just-
Go ahead, Enigma. Everyone's listening.
Or you could just blast Sandstorm.
The root sandstorm.
So,
Really want there to be a botany with fan fiction authors at the next convention I go to.
A botany?
what's a botany?
Botany. That's the study of plants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
mean,
to be
are we talking-
confused with Lupin.
Yes.
Are we talking like real actual botany or botany for fiction?
We're getting into it here, and so I'm wondering if that's just the like throw them a curveball. People are gonna think, oh, I learned about how to write about plants, and it ends up just being incredibly dry and incredibly informative.
Well,
Like
we
the
just talked
soil.
about the life cycle. We just talked about the life cycle of those facehugger plants from that episode where they nearly killed Twilight.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a Fiora topic.
Yeah, by the way, we need to introduce Fiora because poor her has been sitting in the dark. Hi, Fia. Sorry. Please introduce yourself. Fia?
Oh no, we can't hear you.
Her sneak skill is too high.
Oh no.
She's enormous.
Hey there, Pony. I'm FiauraTheTankGirl, and I sure am excited to be here. Teehee. How was that?
Bit too high pitch,
I don't think
but yeah.
Fiora. I don't think Fiora would ever say tee hee.
I'm pretty sure I nailed it. You and I are good friends. She says it all the time.
Vivid, I know where you live.
She's gonna water your plants.
Okay, calm down. Let her speak a little bit.
Vivid, no, he's right. I will come to your house and I will plant a vine around your mailbox. So in 6 months, you're gonna have to call someone to come clear it out. Anyway, hi. Sorry I'm late. I'm hot and sweating.
Oh.
Things
Oh,
got
say for
complicated.
PG.
What?
300 pounds of both. Oh no, this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A metric ton.
That's a lot.
A metric ton of what?
Books.
Oh, the
It's a lot of books.
Books.
Were you using them as weights or?
Sweetie, she's moving. She's doing some heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of books,
No, I'm having to move.
Oh no.
I have a genuine question for you writing folks.
Oh no.
Where is the best place to like put your bookshelves? Like with your books.
Anywhere
Against
you
the
can.
wall.
Living room.
I've got them in every room of my house.
Yeah, same here. Like there's one in my bedroom, there's one in my office, there's 3 in my living room, dining room area. I have a lot of books.
I've got them
There's
in the
one in
kitchen
your
hallway
wall.
too.
I'm in the
One where you're supposed to keep the vegetables.
I'm in the terrible spot right now where right now all my bookcases and books are in a storage room after I remodeled my whole house.
Oh,
And
no.
it's helping remind me that I have only read about half the books I own, and I don't have to think about how many books I still need to read.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the
the best
a
thing you can do
lifelong
is like
journey.
yeah. I think what you should do is
Just-
decide on the themes. Like get all your classic literature on one shelf and put that out like in front of people, so people think you're very, very smart when they first come in. And then as they get to know you better, they get to go into deeper recesses of your home and see like, ah, yes, this is the real stuff.
See,
This
I
is who
prefer
you
the
really
opposite.
are.
I prefer having when people first come in, they see like a whole bunch of copies of pony fan fiction and research books about horses and random stuff like that. And then, if they don't run away, I know they're worth talking to.
yeah.
And if that doesn't work, you can make a fort of knowledge with those books.
How do you know?
Chances
I've
are,
Exactly. Oh, this
I've never built a
no,
book.
no, no.
fort.
This reminds me. This reminds me of a story. So, librarians in Connecticut have banned people from donating 50 Shades of Grey because they had so many copies of it. They built a book fort around the reception desk, like an actual book fort. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I've never built a book fort. I built a tire fort once, but never a book fort.
I don't have enough books for a book for it.
I did, but then
I
I got
do.
yelled at.
You got yelled at for owning too many books?
No, for building a book fort with my brother's books.
That's lame.
Yes.
Oh, you used your brother's books. That's why you got yelled at.
Oh.
Oh,
You gotta buy more books.
yeah, I have enough books now, but now I'm also a lot bigger, so I need a lot more books. Meh.
I mean, let's see, gaming. Just my tabletop game books would be enough to build like the base of a book for. And then
Yeah,
when
that's what
get
I was
into, like-
thinking.
and then when I get into the science books, if I had all of them, oh boy, I could build a house out of that.
Hey.
I only have enough. I only have enough books to make body armor.
Like when I was in graduate school, I used to keep all the academic journals I got sent. I'd get like one a week, maybe two a week, but an actual like full on academic journal isn't like a magazine. It's like a paperback novel.
Huh.
Except for instead of it being those little bitty like 4.5 or 5.5 inch novels, it's like, no, this is a full 8 by 11 page, but it's as thick as a paperback novel. Here you go.
See, I'm lame.
So
I
there's-
usually ended up selling back a lot of the books that I got from my academiamic years.
I'm starting to wondering, like, were you in an anime called Hero Academia? It's so yeah, that's an interesting question. If you have seen the anime, what type of powers do you think you would have? Serious question.
would
Anything
have
Kevin.
with power.
I would have the power to watch that anime and know what I'm talking about.
Ah, okay.
I've never seen it, but I do know about the whole quirk thing.
Yeah. So, okay, trying to explain it a little bit, because I have seen a few episodes, at least. I've seen first season, I think. Basically, it's in a world where everybody is born with different quirks, as they tell. Basically, it's a power. You don't get all the information about the power. Like, you might think that you can shoot water from your body through your fingertips, but actually you discover later in life that no, you're actually taking water out of the air and shooting that water on people. So you have just been drinking too much water without any reason all these years, for example. So you can update your quirk and find out what it really does. But
That just sounds like spitting with extra steps.
No, it's like Ruby, but good.
so basically you can have powers like become giant, or you suddenly grow bull horns and get like cloves and a tail, or you can have like I can shoot laser beams from my belly, or you get a motor in your legs. You can spit fire, you can fly, you can create things from your body as long as you have eaten enough today. or exploding sweats. Be creative. Basically, these are the type of examples of power that you can have called as quirks. They, of course, have limits.
So are you asking what would we have if we could
Yes.
choose anything, or what would we actually have based on our own personalities?
What would you actually have if you ended up living in that universe?
Oh, Lord.
Something related to hitting things with metal objects.
Well, you could have that your skin you can activate your skin to become hard as metal. That could be your quirk then.
I mean, it has been pretty resistant to a few things in the past, which has been helpful. I do have a very hard skull.
Yeah, there you go.
For what
Metal
that's
skin.
worth.
Metal body. Doo-doo.
Go ahead.
I refuse to die. I mean, I've been clinically dead on the operating table twice. I think I could say I refuse to die.
That's a good skill.
Local horse rider is too angry to die.
Maybe you have a quirk that lets you re-enter life as long as you haven't been dead for too long. That could be a quirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just sitting there you're missing your heart. I'm fine. What?
Don't need it.
It's
It'll
a
grow
flesh
back.
wound.
Let's grow back.
It'll grow back. Give me a week. All left of you is a head. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I mean, I'm in excruciating amount of pain, but I'm fine.
My quirk would suck because I have vertigo, but I imagine this is probably the power I'd get. But I'd probably be able to redirect my personal gravity in any direction, and it sucks because I have vertigo easily.
So yeah, you would have gravity abilities, gravity changing abilities. That's cool.
But only myself.
Yeah, that's fair. That sounds like a legit quirk. Nice. And we also
No, because it sucks. Because I would get dizzy and I'd fall towards the sky.
well, if you can control it some way or somehow with this jetpack or anything, that would be cool. And we also have the sponsor for this week. Thank you, Final Sight. Sponsor this week is books. All the books.
That's a lot of books.
Yes, all the
And
books.
if you'd like books, check out our partner Skillshare.
You can find more books in the Home Depot aisle, in the fortification aisle.
Yeah, and if you guys go to the About section in my Twitchy Witch, you can see links to everybody's fan fictions or other websites or social media that they might have. So go and do that. But stay tuned, because now we're going to hear what the rest of you guys are going to have. So, who are we missing?
I think my quirk would be that I can talk so fast and for so long that it would slow down time for whoever was listening to them, and they are just like, if you've ever seen It, the kind of like the deadlights or whatever it is, just like lights start appearing as I talk more and more about my obscure shipping pairs and these super, super, super niche things that people would care about, and people are just hypnotized and cannot turn away.
Hypnotizing speech. Interesting.
So by the time you're done talking about your ships, your victim is just going to be standing there gray-haired?
Probably, yes.
Yeah, interesting. Heartshine?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of that. Because I don't know. I always try to think of powers to be useful or something like that.
No,
but
no.
I'd probably get something weird.
What would you think that you would actually have, not what you want to have? Because that would be easier. If I could choose a quirk like that, I would have healing type of quirks. But I don't know if that is something I would actually have. What would be logical for you to have based on abilities or personality that you already have in the real life?
I don't know, probably something related to like emotions, I guess, because I don't know, I'm a therapist in real life, so.
High five! High five!
But I probably have some sort of like weird drawback, like I can't shut everybody out, so I'm always feeling what everybody else is feeling, and there'd be like times would be like,
So,
I need you all to calm down, like, because your anxiety is making me like not have a good day right now.
yeah, so basically an
That's-
empath.
That
You
that
can
sounds
make
like
other
she's.
people. You know, like make other people calm at the consequence of absorbing their feeling.
Yeah!
That sounds like an emotional support human.
Yeah!
Yes.
Wouldn't it be cool though if you could like take their emotions and give them directly to somebody else?
That might be nice sometimes.
Put yourself in their shoes.
Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh man, couples therapy would go so much easier.
Oh
I
boy.
just don't understand what I'm feeling here, flump.
Yeah, you have
Exactly.
your quirk is
Wow,
to
I have
switch.
seen the error of my ways.
So yeah, Heartshines would be emotion switch. So you can switch
Yep.
up between people, you can switch between yourself and other people. Yeah, awesome. That sounds like a cool quirk.
Be interesting.
Yeah, I guess I have to include myself since all of you have been so open.
I don't think Priest went.
Oh, priest! Tala, 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 tala.
I think I would probably, probably have some sort of ability to like manipulate or selectively listen to sounds or like modify like audio wavelengths. I don't know. I'm a musician, pretty much in my spare time and professional time. It's weird, and like. Usually, like, I could probably use that ability to be like, hey, you, shut up. And they're just, like, quiet. Or what I'd normally do is probably just, like, look far off to someone who's just, like, looking around privately and then just, like, amplify the sound of the fart they're trying to hide.
So, sound manipulation?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Still, I have no idea for myself, though. To be honest.
This was your idea.
Yeah, I know! That doesn't mean I have an idea what I would be myself.
You asked the question.
Yes!
Random.
You had all this time to think of an answer.
No, I get distracted because you guys say all this cool stuff, and I'm just like, oh, yeah. And then I
The
start...
power to
Randomly
control
twitching ear.
ADHD.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, please, thank you. That's fine.
There you go.
Trademark.
Great.
Huh?
Yes, everyone. This explains Vikings. They had ADHD.
Yes. You know, hyperfixation
I mean,
about
just
making
like it.
stuff, and then we get angry, so we go and raid stuff, and then we're just like, oh no, I'm sorry, and then I go and trade afterwards.
Now I have all this extra land I have to take care of.
Oh,
no.
no. And then you have the ones that doesn't like people, so all of those guys just moved to Iceland. Because that's what they did. Like criminals and people who didn't want neighbors moved to Iceland.
So basically,
Wow,
it's
really?
frozen Australia.
Yes.
It's frozen. Hey, no. It's not really frozen Australia. There aren't 10,000 animals there that will kill you.
No, but they don't have trees, and they're not allowed to own a pet dog.
See, but in Iceland, it's like they don't have animals that kill you. It's just the water, one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, they traded the animals, like living things trying to kill you, to just the earth is trying to kill you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the water.
exactly.
The volcanoes. The volcano likes to erupt constantly.
Yeah, they don't need animals. They're just like, no, the earth itself destroys you. Like, we didn't bother with animals.
Pick your poison.
You know, it's like animals you can defeat. You can't defeat Earth.
Exactly.
But I will try.
It's pick your poison. Old man unpronounceable name or Steve Irwin.
Oh, R.I.P.
Oh.
Well, my moderators in the Chatty Waddy is having fun saying that my power would apparently be sparkles or creating sparkles that distract other people. No.
Distract or destroy?
I heard you say that your sparkles only distract older people.
I see.
Can you imagine
that
that pocket, like, instant pocket?
yourself.
So I would be like Pinkie Pie, but without the boom.
So basically, you have the power of glitter.
Pocket glitter.
That's kind of terrifying.
Oh god, it's not pocket sand, it's pocket glitter, which is worse because you can never get it off.
It'll never be gone, not ever.
Has glitter ever gone in anyone's eyes?
Yes.
Yes.
In
It's
the history of
painful.
existence, no one has ever experienced glitter in their eyes.
I have.
No,
Yeah, I have
Surprisingly, I
too. I used to
haven't.
work at daycare.
It's literally like glass in your eye. It's
I know.
not okay.
It's painful. Me.
So would your arch villain just be a guy with goggles?
Yes. Only way to defeat them is to pour a lot of glitter in his mouth so that he starts coughing, and that is like, handcuffs. You're under arrest.
I mean, honestly, at some point, he's going to make the mistake of taking the goggles off.
That's true.
And then it's all over.
Now I'm just imagining a supervillain who sleeps with goggles.
Well, if he's asleep, then we can take the goggles off him. Just need to find out where he lives.
The goggles are part of his face.
Okay.
Chris's ultimate rival is
Gargle pony.
Scott Summers.
Scott
Oh no, I was gonna say Scott Summers from the X-Men because
Oh yeah,
laser
the
eyes
laser
'cause he
eye.
can't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he like laser eyes everything.
Yeah.
Or one of those, like, either the lizards or whatever that can lick their own eyeballs, or like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
birds that have an extra eyelid to keep glitter out, I assume.
Curse you, Birdman, for your extra eye.
Betrayal! Yeah. Oh boy. So that was interesting. Now we get to the point where I'm gonna ask all of you guys about your OCs and how you got those OCs and why you chose to have the OC that you do. Let's start with the therapy bat, because therapy.
Oh. Okay, well, I am a night owl by nature, and when they had bat ponies, I was like, these things are cute, and they have fluffy ears. And then I was like, I'm gonna try to start putting things together, and I was on a random internet dive, and I was learning about heterochromia, and I thought it was kind of a neat thing, and then didn't learn until later that apparently, like, everybody that made their pony OCs, like, with heterochromia had, like, meaning you have two different eye colors, sorry. Apparently they made them like super edgy OCs, and then I was like, oh, I made a bat whose special talent is singing lullabies, and she likes to make cinnamon rolls.
Oh,
So-
I like her! Yeah! That's not edgy, that's adorbs. I approve. And you also have freckles. I like that.
yes,
Yeah,
freckles are the best.
we are both freckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, both freckles. It's like, where you been?
Yeah.
Like, I know so few people who has freckle OCs. This is nice.
That's not freckles. That's just glitter you toss at her face.
No,
Josh, don't
freckles-
blow my
freckles are
cover.
good.
I'm kidding. No. I promise we have rehearsed all of this. Yeah, no.
Right,
Sorry.
yep.
Continue. Oh. Yeah. So that's why you went with the OC that you have.
Yeah.
Does she have any background? Like, did you make a story about her, or is it just like, yes, this is my OC. She's precious.
Let's see here. I had a little bit of background for her, like that she like, which is always funny to me because whenever I think about it, because like she grew up in like a bigger family, so she's the oldest, which I'm the oldest in my family, so like there's that. But and then like she grew up basically by the seashore, which is actually kind of where I live now. So which is, I don't know, just a little town, but. Yeah, that's Sona. She's, I don't know.
She's got different colored eyes and smells like the ocean.
Yes. Or cinnamon buns, depending on what she's been making in the bakery that she
Cute
works
little
at.
things.
Yes.
You're in charge.
Why am I in charge?
Because Crit said you are.
Those
Oh,
are the rules.
okay.
It's true.
All right, well, I don't actually have control over the stream images, so eeny, meeny, miny. Hey, Vivid, why is your horse sexy?
Safe for work!
That was safe for work!
I mean, I can't tell you why, other than I hire artists who are a bit too good at the job, I guess. But I don't know. Vivid actually started as the opposite of a self-insert. By which I mean I had started writing Sensation and had written Vivid as a I'd written him as a I need to write a character because in that story I completely stole the format of it from Life of Pi, where an interviewer comes and interviews somebody famous, and that's the frame story for the whole story that happens. And I thought as I started to post that story, and when I need to like pick a username and everything, oh, I'll just pick this guy because he's a writer and I'm a writer, and then it's like, oh shit, I've turned this. So I mean, oops, oh poop, I turned this into a self-insert story thing, and then I was like, all right, well, I'll just give him a beard, and I got my friend Vince to draw the original picture for me, and he drew this really nice purple shirt, and then I went on like a year-long crusade to find this purple shirt in real life, and eventually found it at Kohl's of all places.
Nice.
So,
basically what you're saying
go ahead.
Is that you turned into your avatar, or your OC.
Basically, like, why not? If I could turn into a horse, I absolutely would.
I want it noted. I want it noted that you took longer to find that shirt than it took me to find whiskey glasses that haven't been made since 1930. Well, because Bob broke one of my antique whiskey glasses and was like, "I'll replace them," and I'm like, "What?" It took her 8 months to find 2 of them. So you took longer to find your shirt than it took me to find whiskey glasses that haven't been made in almost 100 years.
It is ridiculously hard to find shirts that have shoulder tabs on them that don't look like absolute clown shirts. I will say that.
And when you can't go to a tailor, that takes time. Yeah.
I mean, I was a poor college student at the time. I had not
okay.
even thought of like tailors being a thing.
That's fair.
Are you back, Chris? Am I no longer in charge?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, popcorn biscuits.
No. Did you explain why you have a green OC and why you chose to be what you are? No, you're not a green OC. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up again.
I'm a green OC.
Yes.
He's a green OC.
Yeah.
We're all green OC.
Everybody is a pony. Whee!
Everybody remember, green is not a creative color.
Excuse you. I think it's very creative. Depends on how you use it.
That's a heck of a reference.
Is that a reference?
It is.
Ah, my bad.
To Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. First one, right?
Yes.
Very safe for Chris.
Very not safe.
Oh,
Not safe.
I'm gonna take you guys' words for it. But yeah, why you're the brown one, or the one with the shirt brown. There's so many earth ponies. Explain.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, I'll invite a bunch of writers, and then 4 of us are earth ponies, and I'm like, why are all the writers earth ponies?
Because
we gotta represent.
Yeah.
So that's where all of the earth
Y'all-
ponies went.
Y'all can speak for yourself. I love being a Pegasus.
I like being a bat.
Yeah.
Wing solidarity. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes, ground speaker. They're all really I can't English. They are all well grounded. Yes, they are.
Hey.
I'm sorry, we can't hear you. We're too high up and being awesome.
Hey, Sweetie Bloom! That's woo. Yeah, can you explain why you went with a brown earth pony and the fancy stripes in your mane? Did I get the wrong one? No, that's
Who did you ask?
Vivid.
Who did you ask?
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ha ha ha, I'm good at things.
Aren't we all?
I don't know. It's because I don't have a particular style. It was basically like, I mean, I'm sure everyone here has played with the pony creator.
Yeah.
Cough cough biscuit. And that was just like, I want to add some other like details and things as artist asked me like, oh, what are like little fun details you want to add to it? And it's like, oh yeah, we'll do like kind of the spiky hair, we'll do the little chin puff beard thing, which then I also grew. And I remember showing this to people early on, like after I'd gotten the art, and people were like, oh, he looks like he's in a boy band, and that's when I realized that my sense of style has not changed since like NSYNC was popular in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's fair. One thing I forgot to ask earlier also, you all have cutie marks, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Yes.
ask. I did. Looking at the blank. Would you guys? I know. Bat already. Bat? No, her name is Heartshine. Heartshine and Vivid. Would you guys be so kind to explain your cutie marks and what they represent, or in case how your pony got that cutie mark before we go over to anyone else? Before I forget it. Me.
Oh,
Sure. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. No. I think you stepped away just as I was starting to explain. It's okay. But no. No. Like I was saying earlier, it was just Sona's cutie mark is from she got her cutie mark was singing lullabies to her younger siblings, and so her special talent is singing.
Oh, yay!
That was kind of it.
That's nice. Okay. Vivid?
Yeah, his cutie mark was originally just a purple quill pen, and then I realized like every single writer pony, not everyone, but the quill pen is just the like go-to cutie mark ones. Like, I wanted to make it a little bit better, or a little bit different at least. So I put a capital sigma, which is used to represent summation notation in mathematics. I'm a statistician in my daily life, and I don't know. I just thought it looked neat. I liked that it was a little bit asymmetrical, and I liked that you can interpret what it means in a number of different ways. So, yay, math and writing.
Okay. So how, like, you don't have a background for how your character got that cutie mark? It's just that's mine.
Not really. It's just Vivid is more of just my avatar that I use in the pony world. I don't honestly have which seems weird given that I've written so much fanfiction. It's like he's just a way for me to represent myself out in the fandom. He doesn't have that much of a story, truth be told.
That's fair. Okie dokie. Thank you. So let's start with the one that I confused you with earlier. Space! Spice.
It took me a while. Okay, I thought you said spice.
No, space.
The space will flow.
Space.
Right.
Whee.
So my OC is a Fallout Equestria OC, and I chose my OC because for my first story that I wrote, which was a Fallout Equestria story, and what were we talking about? I spaced out for a second.
Hey.
Literally your OC.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a neat OC, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, but why is he an earth pony? Why is he green? Why does he look the way he do? Why did you choose it? Why do you feel that this is a
Okay.
approximation of yourself?
Okay, like I said, it was from the Fallout Equestria story, and if you know anything about that story, it would have been hard for me to choose him as a Pegasus.
Yeah.
And I could have gone with Unicorn, but I thought, no, when I'm writing this story, I want this character to actually face challenges. So I made him an Earth Pony because he doesn't have the luxury of magic nor flight.
Mm.
Plus, I also root for the underdog a little bit, like a lot of people. So Earth Ponies are underrepresented.
Well, not exactly right now, though.
Yeah, because after I chose mine, suddenly everyone else was doing. I know you guys are all followers, but
Earth ponies just have no
Uh-huh.
endurance. That's why there's so many of us still in the fandom.
yeah,
Oof.
Earth ponies are OP.
Yes.
yeah, we're really good at rolling around in the mud.
Hey, mud is nice. Don't be mad about mud. Mud is nice.
It's good for your skin.
And kicking and biting. Don't forget about kicking and biting.
Why would you kick and bite?
Yeah.
You'll learn when
It's
you're older.
rude.
Oh, my.
Confusion.
It solves problems. If somebody's talking and you want them to stop, you kick them.
Like oofto.
If somebody touches you and you don't want them to, you bite them.
Exactly.
Okay. So why did you go with green and he has a scar over his mouth?
Yeah, about that. I didn't finish Fall. I haven't finished Fallout Equestria, my first my first spinoff. I hope to go back one of these days and complete it, but I have to rewrite it because it was my first story and it's god awful grammatically wise.
Mm.
Anyway, there is a reason he has a mouth scar, but I never got around to revealing how that happened.
This is your chance.
Yes.
Tell us.
Give us some spoilers. Woo!
Okay. No, I want to finish the story.
Come on, give us some candy, please.
Okay. How about I just say this? Like he tripped, and he lies about his scar, saying, "Oh, he always lies about how he got the scar, but in reality, he just fucking tripped."
There you go.
Language, sorry.
It's okay. You guys have been doing very well. I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much. So the only thing we're missing is his cutie mark, which is a magnifying glass and some hoof prints.
He's a detective in the wasteland, so basically it's a magnifying glass looking over a set of footprints.
Nice. Okay. Let's get you back in place. See, next on the list, let's take Fia.
Wait, I'm next?
Yes.
Crap.
Wahaha.
So, I didn't design my OC.
Done.
Da-da-da-da.
This is the part where we're all supposed to gasp in horror.
I made a character for Fallout Equestria, and originally she was supposed to be, the eyes are the same color, and she was supposed to be solid red mane, solid orange tail, and her coat was supposed to be white. So I made the character, handed it to the game master for him to approve, and when he handed it back to me, the color scheme had changed. And he claims he didn't do it. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'll just roll with it, and that's so there's artwork of her that shows in like the before, she's a Fallout Equestria character, so there's artwork of her that shows her before the bombs dropped where she's red with a white mane, and then there's artwork, and then everything else is that, and I'm like, why am I green? I'm not even like dark green or grassy green. I'm like screaming lime green.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're
that
the
suddenly
perfect kind of.
makes so much more sense in your story, because I was like, why did she change colors? What?
I still haven't written the
You're
part about why she changed colors.
I figure it's just a side effect of the bomb.
You're the perfect shade of green to just blend in on a green screen.
I know. That's been one of the funniest things. Was I was on a podcast that had cameras, and they wanted to use a green screen, so we set up the green screen, and I had my plushie next to me, and the only thing on the plushie you could see was the eyes and the shirt, so it looked like a ghost was just sitting there next to me.
Yeah.
But that's how the colors got made.
Yeah.
I've been playing her in a tabletop game for 4 years. I feel old.
We're all old here. That's okay.
No, I'm gonna be young and invincible forever.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Sure, Vivid. I'll just ignore those gray hairs.
We also established that Fee is too angry to die.
That too.
I'm too angry to die. I'll grow old, but I'll still be too angry to die. It'll be like 90-year-old pony woman refuses to die.
Yeah. Oh, that. But so the colors weren't your idea, but you still chose to be an Earth pony.
Mm-hmm.
Like any.
No, I don't. Everything I normally do isn't done by quote unquote magic or luck or something. It's oh god, I have to work at this and work at this and work at this, and 3 or 4 years later I finally get what I want. So I've never viewed anything as something that I can just do easily. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna have a horn. And someone said, well, you could be a Pegasus. And I'm like, I don't like flying. Like, my persona's a flightless bird. Do you think for 2 seconds I want to fly?
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, Chris, you keep asking us, why did you choose Earth Pony? And I know the question you really want to ask us, all right, us Earth Ponies. The question you really want to ask is, how do we use toilet paper?
That's not a question I had, but okay.
I know the answer, but it's not safe for work.
Ponies.
There we go.
Ponies don't need to use toilet paper. If you ever had spent a lot of time with horses, they don't need that. They are very clean.
Do your horse research.
Science.
Like I live next to like 3 giant horse schools and people who has their horses on the summer market and stuff like that. So I've grown up with a lot of different animals.
Giant Horse School needs to be a new series. Short fiction.
So that would be actual Earth horses in Equestria.
Yes.
And instead of like teaching them to ride the horses, they'll be teaching the horses things because Earth horses aren't smart.
Yes.
So I just imagine them sitting in class with a blank vacant stare, and then eventually they just start freaking out and start fucking everything.
Nope.
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 Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Kicking everything. Be
Kicking.
you.
Okay, kicking. That's okay.
Yes.
Kicking is
That's what I
okay.
said. I didn't say the other thing. You
That word has been
misunderstood.
dangerous for a decade now, and we're still all like,
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Let me see. I have a feeling I need this. There we go. Where did you go? Stuffy!
Boom! Yay! It exploded.
There it is. I need this today.
Oh,
I still think there's like 3 more you haven't asked yet.
There we go.
that is
Big scared Chris.
Yes.
that is a big scared Chris.
There you go. But yeah. Yeah, your cutie mark.
Also not mine.
Yeah, that's true. That was
The original character sheet I hated them was a blank flake, and I got back with a cutie mark, and I'm like, Moon? 2 questions. Why am I green, and where is this cutie mark from?
I did not choose
All
this.
he did was grin at me, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's what we're rolling with.
So, did you originally have a cutie mark in mind?
Nope.
Okay. But
See, what happened to you was basically the real life equivalent of taking your child to school, then your child coming back with a tattoo.
Yes. That's exactly what happened.
Fado.
I took my kid to school, and I was like, yay, and then they came back with a tattoo, and we're somehow in high school, and I'm like, wait, what?
When did this happen? Biscuits. Your turn. Oh yeah, no. Sorry, Fia?
But, no, most of my OC is an accepted amalgamation from other people, and at this point, it's just recognized as being me. And then I ended up writing books because someone was like, I want you to write the tabletop game. I'll turn it into I'll novelize it under one condition. What's that? We make $1,000 tonight.
And you
They
did?
tipped they tipped $2,600.
Wow.
holy cow.
Oh, there you go.
It was at that point that I learned never ever dare them. They'll do it.
Yeah, sounds about right. Hey, Kai! Neighbor! Tjena grannen! Hehe. And for people wondering, that was Swedish. Yay!
Yay.
Yay! So yeah, that's how Fiora gets OCs. People just eat stuff at her, and then it's like, okay, this is me. Så ja. Ska vi köra Flutterprist or Biscuit? Who do you want to go first?
I think Biscuit should go first. He's been quiet.
Yeah.
Do it.
You gotta make
Okay,
you gotta make them fight.
I'll just clonk him with a wrench and it'll be all over. So mine's just basically an avatar. He's not an OC. He doesn't have a name.
But isn't he Admiral Biscuit?
No, he's not Admiral Biscuit. I'm Admiral Biscuit.
So who?
That's a
He's
horse.
just- Yeah, exactly.
So
And so I wanted to be kind of boring and plain.
I'm,
And since my art skills are really lacking, it's the same one I created in Pony Creator back in 2012.
so if we start
And-
calling your OC Crumbling Biscuits, is that okay?
I mean, you can call him whatever you want.
Yay!
There's a reason why he's got a concerned look. He's been on the internet. He's seen things.
Aw, poor Crumbling Biscuits. I feel sorry.
So one of my friends actually commissioned a art version of him and had to, ask what he would have as a cutie mark.
Mhm.
And so I decided on a wrench and a quill
Oh,
for writing and for being a mechanic.
well, there you
But
go.
I never bothered to put one on the original avatar.
Mm.
And seasonally, sometimes he gets hats based on the season, but they always only just go over 1 year.
Yeah, that's nice.
So you get all fancy, including with the cutie mark, but you're also lazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why Crumbling Biscuits.
I mean, if like my OCs, like per se, are mostly background characters in the show that never really got any attention, that I write an enormous amount of stories about. But my own character doesn't really need.
Oh, come on, be proud of it. You literally take characters that have absolutely nothing written about them and going, I'm going to make a story about you.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd have to really think about it, but I'm sure I have stories about a character who's never spoken a line in a single episode.
It's fun to do, especially when you're working on the kind of like, what kind of person or pony are they?
Yeah, give them personality.
I have legit had people refer to Silver Spanner, who is a actual show character with a trading card, as my OC. Because I've written her into multiple stories.
Wow.
Fun.
I've had people at BabsCon think you were going to be on stage because one of the mascots is called Silverspan. Yeah.
I kind of feel bad.
Yeah, don't
That
you?
But
was-
only a little bit.
Yeah, you worked with BabsCon.
That was gloriously funny to me.
It was like the time at BrodyCon that Bad Horse borrowed my badge and pretended to be me.
I can imagine there's a lot of people who could pretend to be you, and they might get away with it.
Hi, I'm Admiral Biscuit. It's a pleasure to meet you. I write stories.
Not anymore. Like, I'm distinctive enough that most people that see me once remember what I look like.
Yeah, he was that dude walking around with a concerned face.
So,
And the Admiral Biscuit shirt. Don't forget about that.
so it's just your OC's face with concerned Admiral Biscuit noises?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, fair. So, Priest, would you be so kind
Yeah.
to share us a story?
Yes, I will. It's really kind of interesting because when I started really kind of writing stories, oh gosh, I'll try and condense it down as much as possible. But I started like by writing on 4chan, and typically you start out by posting things anonymously for a while until you kind of find your own distinctive style, and then if people decide, I hate your stuff, I don't want to look at your stuff, and filter it out, you can use a screen name, and people can filter you out or purposely look for your stuff if that's your thing. So I was just sitting here like, oh gosh, I got to come up with a name. What do I make one? It was 100% for me, like, how do I find something that's not cringy? And I wanted to create a really distinctive, like, individual space that's separate from all the other aspects of my life. So I called my friend, which he was very upset because it was 3 a.m, and was like, I need to figure out a name that I can write my pony fan fiction under. And we eventually got to the point of mashing together My Little Pony characters and metal band names. And after passing on such wonderful treats like Sparkle Death or Metalladash, we ended up on Flutterprist thanks to Fluttershy Judas Priest. And it was never with the idea of creating like an original character in mind, but it worked really well because then like people were able to just take like pictures of Fluttershy from the show, slap a priest collar on it, and boom, that's me. And that was 100% not intentional. And over time, as people were making more and more like fan art of me, which was weird, they kind of had this moment where it's like, oh, we probably shouldn't just do the Fluttershy cutie mark. So my characters had several over the years, whether it's like a quill and paper, or I had a big phase where I was writing a ton of Cadence stories, so I had just Cadence's face as a cutie mark. But now the pretty common, like, I don't have like an accepted this is my cutie mark at this point. It's kind of weird. Even like this was, let's see if I can share this. This is probably like the most cost effective like commission I've ever had. And they're like, what is your cutie mark? And I go, I don't know, run with it. And so they just covered it with my my wing. So what is my cutie mark? Even I don't know. You figure it out. And it's a lot of fun. It's genuinely a lot of fun to have this kind of opportunity and all sorts of like kind of different characters kind of associated with me. And they just like, here's Fluttershy, slap the collar on it, and good. And I never even like began writing the character until I got really deep into my longest story, which is called Fluttershy Once in Your Pants. I won't explain that for safer work reasons.
Thank you.
In which he was the character that was writing the story, and the characters broke out of the narrative and were trying to determine how to escape the story. And my character, the writer, was giving them tips on how to break the fourth wall. And so it was an interesting experience actually writing the character. So that's a little bit about my OC.
Who is making?
So you basically went.
Sorry, I had some background noises and I was just a bit confused. Like, who's that? But never continue.
So Flutterpriest, you also basically went from picking a name first and then going from there.
Yeah, 110%. And it was. None of this was supposed to happen. I was never supposed to like get horse acclamation. I don't know what happened.
It's just happened.
You were never supposed to get horse fade. This is not okay.
It's
yeah, because part of my idea was basically I picked a bunch of names I'd used in the past for role-playing games or things like that and found the one that got the least Google results. So that's why I'm Admiral Biscuit instead of something else. Easy to remember, and it doesn't come up with anything on Google.
I picked Wandering Sunrise because I wanted something that leaves but it's always going to come back to the same spot. And I thought, well, the sunrise does that. Okay, what do I put in front of it? And then I spent 2 days making a pony pun, and it doesn't even fit that well.
I mean, technically, the sun doesn't rise in the same place every day, so the wandering part is appropriate.
Well, you could have chosen Sarsaparilla Sunrise.
No!
But
It
sarsaparilla
was actually, it was actually my friend Michael Downey at Obsidian Entertainment who was talking to me about Fallout stuff, who suggested Wandering, and I'm like, okay, I can live with that. Because the original Fallouts was The Wanderer, and I'm like, oh, that makes far too much sense. I just want to point out he has a detective hat that he takes tips in.
Yeah. Do you have any tips to I can show you an example of it accepting tips. Do you have any?
He needs to feed his family.
Wait,
his horse
Enigma
family?
has a family?
Surprisingly.
Wait, you're Papa?
No, I'm raising a kid.
He has his needs.
It's called kidnapping.
Dude!
Oh, I see.
Dude!
No! What you doing? Toss a coin to your rider, oh welly a plenty, oh welly a plenty, oh. Caster of Fables sends his regards.
Yay.
Yay.
Friend of you?
I've never seen them.
Wait, I know him.
You do?
Okay.
I do. I think.
Maybe.
He also lives in the frozen north, if it's who I'm thinking of.
Do you live in the frozen north, caster of fables? Do you live in my part of the frozen north, or do you live somewhere else? Fable caster on fanfic.
Hey, Biscuit, is he Canadian, or is he Norwegian, or is he Russian?
Like,
I think Norwegian.
hei! Norsk! Hei! Hei, du, er du norsk? Skriv på norsk hvis du er fra Norge. Altså, hvor I Norge er du fra, egentlig? Ah,
Just to point this out, she randomly just burst out in Norwegian, and the rest of us are like, yes.
Yes,
Yeah, I
this
don't
is
know.
good.
I don't know much Norwegian. I got to admit.
Podemos hablar español también.
Yeah, also, hola, amigo. That's all the Spanish I know.
Hola, señor. ¿Cómo está?
Oh, no.
Okay, so-
So I think we should stop writing this.
just so
Oui,
keep-
oui, mon amour. De
Mi amor.
baguette.
So we have a Finnish, we have a Swedish, and we have a Norwegian in chat or with us. Caster is Finnish. Kong is Swedish, and I'm Norwegian. We only need the Danish. Where's the Danish people at?
I feel like if I spoke one of the three languages I know in Norway, I would get uncomfortable looks.
You know American, no, English it's called.
It's American, okay? Let's just be honest.
So,
It's like English, but worse.
It's like English, but we had a war against the letter U and K.
Oh.
so I got a question for the panel, just curiosity.
Yeah?
I'm vain, and I love like occasionally checking to see like I remember a long time on FimFic you're able to see like where people were reading from, and I had like a moment the first time I saw someone from overseas was reading my stories.
Ooh.
How do you guys feel like, or how did you feel when you first kind of realized that people were internationally digesting your content?
Oh, dude, it was completely
Confused.
crazy.
I didn't realize that was happening until like I woke up the day after I announced I was going to print the first book, and I'm like, oh cool, I have 12 orders, and 8 of them were from Europe, and 1 was from Korea, and I'm like, what? Who are you people?
Oh god.
Yeah,
And
like-
shipping internationally is rough.
Yeah, but they were like, we're paying for the book and we're paying the $70 shipping price, and I'm like, the what? So I don't consider myself worth that much still.
Sweetie,
I don't.
Hey, no, I
should.
completely
You know that.
I completely empathize though. Like I don't have a lot of self-worth as a writer. Like I'm just kind of sitting here like looking at all the things I've done. Like this is a thing that I did. And even if your stuff gets the millions of reads, even if you leverage that into an actual like published writing position, which Fee has and I have, there's only like so much you can like take a step back and look like, oh, yep, horse fiction. It's what I do.
Yeah, but there is one thing that you promised to see yourself as a decent writer, at least, when you hit the mark that you did. So don't you dare go and call yourself not worthy when you're at least somewhat worthy. Wow.
It is always weird though, like looking at like your referral sources and realizing that like because you can if you look at your story stats, you can see where most people are clicking in from.
Yeah.
And it's always really confusing because like I think it's like a solid fifth of like mine are like from Russia.
Hey!
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah,
Why is every pony that are you one of the like the referral source that's like the top 5? What?
Or sometimes you have a moment where you're like, who on Channel Awesome is talking about my story?
Yeah.
Yeah. A Silver Quill walked up to me at Everfree and said, well, apparently it's Equestria Daily's policy to not review Fallout Equestria stories. I'm like, that's terrible. He's like, yeah, it's not my policy. Give me your books. I'm like, excuse me, I'll have a review by Christmas. I'm sorry. Do you want to explain that one to me?
Yeah, GG Silver.
Yeah, for me it was kind of crazy, like seeing people overseas that were reading my stuff. And lately I've had people translate a couple things that I know of into Russian and Chinese, which is also nuts. And then when I started doing some pre-reading for people, I realized I kind of had to ask what country they were from. Because a lot of times they'd have to correct things from non-native English speakers, which is its own special kind of art.
Yep.
You can only like Google Translate into different languages for so long until like it translates to something that's terribly wrong.
Well, it's not. It wasn't even like Google translating. It was just not knowing some of the conventions of writing, like what order adjectives go in.
Right.
So it probably made perfect sense for somebody who wasn't a Native American speaker to put them in this particular order. But I'm like, dude, you can't do this. It's weird.
It's weird and you're wrong.
Yes.
Learning from. By the way, the Russian bronies are nuck and futs. They are absolutely like crazy.
Yes, they are.
But learning from them that the way they learn English, they don't know how to use contractions. And then being like, well, I'm writing a character from Staliongrad. I guess every time she talks, I have to not use contractions. And then having my editor browbeat me to make sure I don't have her use contractions through the whole book. Because I immediately flip back to wanting to use them.
Like, my absolute best ever from an editor was writing a character that was really bad at writing and having my editor suggest additional grammatical mistakes she could make.
Props, I love you, but I have seen Props start editing a chapter, pressing Control F and searching for apostrophes.
Go Props! Go Props!
Like that's what he does. He just presses Control F, just hits apostrophe, then starts pressing Enter.
I mean, on the one hand, when you know you're going to be looking for a specific thing, that can save time.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it makes me feel bad that that's the start of the editing process, is looking for apostrophes.
And none of us are perfect as writers.
No, anytime someone looks at my story, the very first thing they gotta look for is when I accidentally switch tenses. That's the worst feeling.
Chris mentioned about Flutterprist mentioned about the international people. Everybody kept telling me I was doing good, and I didn't believe them. Then one thing happened that made me believe them, and that's the dudes at Obsidian Entertainment, who a lot of them are still the original creators of like Fallout. And one of the I went there on to tour the place because they invited me as a streamer to do that. And they have it's not like a game develop. Obsidian is one of the few game development studios that still run like it's a party. So they have a game room where everybody is required to spend at least 3 hours a week there playing video games.
Yay!
Like that's their job.
Sounds
But
nice.
they also have like a reading. They have a reading in a quiet room, and in the reading in the quiet room was two of my books, and I'm like, why are these in here? And they went, oh, we like them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? And it was at that point that I agreed to stop saying I'm a bad writer. I still don't believe I'm a good writer, but I'm not willing to say. But I'm not willing to say I'm a bad one anymore.
That's fair.
I'm kind of in a similar boat in that like I don't look at the numbers. I try not to look at the numbers too much or like where it's being read from or anything. But like the individual times that I've had people come up and say, "Hey, your story really really meant something to me," or "It helped me overcome this thing," like that is those are the things that really make me think, "Oh wow, I've actually written something that is meaningful to a lot of people," and that makes me feel good inside, regardless of what the numbers end up being.
You know,
Yeah, that's like legit the best. Is when
Yeah.
you can actually have a good influence on somebody, like even if it's a story that like absolutely bombed in terms of rating or whatever. Like if it really personally affected somebody.
Yeah, or I've had like doses of that. I've also had the doses of like sometimes you make something and you get that little comment of, oh, this is just what I needed today. I had a rough day and this made my day a little better. Like those little things also kind of help too, because it all adds up. For me, my rub isn't necessarily like the idea of whether I'm good or whether I'm bad. I've kind of just come to accept that I am what I am. And my concern as an author at this point is that whenever I release something, it whether I like it or not, it kind of just goes straight to the feature box where it just kind of has automatic success because of the number of followers I have. And I feel bad about that because a lot of times there are people who are just trying to break in, or they haven't gotten as many subscribers or X or Y or Z. And they put a ton of work in their stuff, and they can't get the same level of traction because I have a number that's higher. That's what feels bad.
Yeah, I've actually delayed
Go ahead.
publishing stories because I know somebody who's less well known that I've helped them work on their fic is like, they've just published. And I'm like, if I publish something, it's just going to, has a good chance of taking away their possibility to feature bot. So it's like, I'm going to hold off on what I have because I know it's, same thing. It's pretty much guaranteed. Unless, 6 more popular authors than I publish like in the same day.
Yeah, so it's like it's nice to hear that you guys who have gotten such a long way are still being considerate of smaller or less known people that also do this kind of stuff. That's very heartwarming to hear.
Well, one of the things that really like sold me on this community versus others was how helpful and down to earth a lot of the popular authors were, compared to like some sites where it's like, I'm famous, so screw you.
Well, we have a few of them, but
I mean, yeah, we have a few. You're gonna, in any fandom, but like, there seemed to be more of a sense of community of like caring for the little guy and people being willing to help somebody who's just starting out, versus and give like useful situation or suggestions instead of just like your story's bad and you should feel bad. Kind of thing.
I'll tell you one thing. If you're like a newer author and you want attention, using the same algorithm that YouTube uses to determine analytics, I determine analytics for the whole site for fanfiction. If you want to publish a story and have the best chance of getting noticed or the best chance of getting into the feature bracket, Tuesday or Thursday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is when the fewest number of stories are published weekly. That is when the fewest number of stories are updated weekly. So literally, like to anyone who's like a new author or wants, that's something that I found out was literally sitting there and having a computer run the algorithm to figure out when stories were published, and I still have it to this day. It
How
used
does
to
that
be
correlate with people who so the algorithm runs based on heat, and that includes things like comments and views.
It
Are people really
actually
reading during those
doesn't.
times?
It
I
actually does not.
disagree.
No. Having run the algorithm and actually seen what's going on and all the measurements, the femfiction algorithm is strictly based on the like bar. You can have we ran some experiments. We ran some tests. So we published a story and put 1,000 comments on it in an hour, and it didn't do anything.
Okay.
It is strictly 100% that bar. If that bar is getting responses, it doesn't matter if they're, and it matters if they're positive or negative. If they're negative responses, it won't get put up there. But if it's strictly that bar that determines what gets put up at the top, what the heat and everything, like they say it's comments and stuff, but from what we can tell, having done experiments, it is strictly just that bar. So if you read a story, the most important thing you can do to give anything back to the author, even if you don't have the ability to, like, if you don't want to tip them, if you don't want to go on a Patreon, if they don't have one of those, strictly the two best things you can do is, if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button and then tell the author what you liked about it. The thumbs up button is for the algorithm on FemFiction. The comment is for the author to understand what they're doing right, or for the author to realize. Yeah, I find it. I found it. I was in disbelief too, but it turns out that comments have zero effect on if it gets put on the feature bar. You can get put on the right-hand side of the screen where it says popular stories. Views and comments can get you there, but it can't get you. But it cannot get you on the feature bar.
Interesting. Maybe...
I learned something today.
Used to be the dead time for publication was Monday morning. Now the dead time for publication is Tuesday and Thursday morning. I have this algorithm at the house that just runs all the data it gets every day. It takes up like 5% of my processing power to just determine how many stories are being published, how many stories are being updated, and then figure out the time. Then it gives me a printout, like it's a graph chart. And I'm currently not at where I'm living right now because I'm moving, so I'm sitting here on a laptop, which is why I was late. So I don't have that in front of me. But I know that from the last time I looked at it, Tuesday and Thursday morning, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is the least number of publications right now.
See, the thing that I would chime in on is, I mean, I appreciate the research you found. Now, I've also done my own degree of research and talked with the mod and admin, Nighty, and with two different like control cases. A story with, say, 8 upvotes, no downvotes, and more views than a story with 10 upvotes, fewer views, and no downvotes. The story with 8 upvotes has a higher heat or popular value in the algorithm than the 10.
That may be the case. I don't have the ability. I can only cycle through IP addresses so quickly to do experiments.
So were you uploading your own story, like upvoting your own stories?
No.
Okay.
What we were doing was we would run a test experiment to see what would happen, then we would delete the story once we got enough data. The whole point is just, I did the same thing to YouTube. I uploaded a video, let my own algorithm run to figure out what was going on with it, and then figured out, and then deleted the video afterwards. But I'm not using a bunch of bot accounts. I'm using a bunch of volunteers. We had out of a Discord of at the time 500 people, we had 100 people agree to sit down, and about 80 of them joined the call to do the experiment.
That's dedication.
I get people. I'm like, I want to do science. Who wants to volunteer?
That's fair. I did see that someone was confused on how it works with multi-part stories. Usually, if you've been featured before and you update it, you just kind of go back to.
So with multi-part stories, if you haven't been featured before, this is how Dead Tree gets featured now. But you end up at the top of the popular stories list. Your next chapter publication will bump it into those bottom 3 slots that are reserved for updated stories. If the updated story in question has been up there for less than an hour, or you have straight up a more upvotes and a better upvote to dislike ratio. That is what we have found is how that works to the best of our knowledge. I mean, if I can see behind the website.
In the update box every day for a year. Booyah.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to be in the update box for your next chapter update, get yourself into the popular story box and get it, and you'll have to get people to bump it up to a ridiculous to the top of the popular story box, and then the next time you update it should appear on there if you are able to if you have a higher overall long-term heat rating than the recently updated story in there. So like I'm saying right now on the website, I'm not small, I'm aerodynamic, and I'm assuming this is it's a one shot. But if this person were to upload a second chapter, they would be put into the featured box instead of where they are now. That's how it works. That's why we did all the research, because we were weirded out that Dead Tree got put in the feature box after I updated it. I'm like, that's weird. Let's figure out how this works.
Yeah.
Do you have all this written down somewhere?
Yeah.
Like on your Patreon?
There's also a so I don't know if it's still there anymore, but there used to be like an active readers counter that would be at the top of each story. And I know the active readers number has something to do with it too. So like the most recently updated story in the updated area with the most active readers within like so much time of it being released hits the box.
Yes, at the top of every story there is an eyeball.
Yeah.
And if the eyeball has a number to it, that's how many people are currently reading it, excluding you.
Yes.
When you refresh the same page, that is to say, if you stay on the same chapter and you refresh the page, or you click the eyeball which will refresh the page for you, it will then register you as counted.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they still have an active number of readers thing in there that tells you how many people are reading at that very moment.
It just shows it pays off to update regularly and put out good, like, sizable updates. That way people are staying on those pages longer.
Yes.
One of the other things I've done that's gotten a few new writers at least noticed is running a contest and then using my powers for good and blogging about everybody that submits a fic to the contest. I've currently got one that the challenge is to write a story about a pony on Earth doing a job, and there's no other requirements. And if you write such a story, I will blog about it.
Okay, how about an Earth pony as a commercial airplane pilot?
Yeah.
I would blog about that. If you write such a story and let me know, I will write a blog about it.
They're scared of
heights. And every now and then I've gotten enough people in on this thing that they'll find a story that somebody else wrote who has no idea about this and send it to me. And if it meets the very minimal qualifications, I will also write a blog about it.
Now, if you can't do regular updates for some reason, because like, for instance, you're like me and it has to go through 2 editors and you only really write in extremely long or in a long burst on one day and then the next day you can't do anything. Let your audience know what's going on and keep them in tune some way. So Twitter, Discord, whatever social media, or your own blog there. Just keep them in the know so that they will anticipate when it comes out. And then as soon as it comes out, let everybody know. Be loud about it, because you're like your own best PR person, even if you're super social anxious.
Yep.
And I have now discovered in this new room I am definitely going to need a blackout curtain.
Remember when we were all talking about silly ponies?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice time.
It was a wonderful time.
Yeah.
I remember like it was an hour ago.
Well, almost. It was half an hour ago.
Guys, I have something on my mind that's been on my mind for days.
Yeah, tell us.
Is it called insurance because it's assurance that you invest in?
Yes.
Sure.
Oh yeah, Dusty
You know,
Cat
Dusty-
says something.
Yeah,
so.
he brought up G5.
Yeah.
How's everyone feeling G5?
In 2 weeks, we will have a lot of new ponies to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy's best
So-
pony.
What's
Fight.
everyone's predictions?
I'm
What's everyone's
going to-
predictions?
Okay, oh, wait,
100%.
wait. Before we start, is everybody here okay talking about G5? Or do you want not to talk about it because you don't want spoilers? Or you just want to hold off your thoughts because you're working on a video?
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm just gonna say I have absolutely no opinion because I don't want to give an opinion, but also because I don't want to have an opinion until I sit down and watch it.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's fair. Super, then we know that.
Okay, no. So I want to start then.
Yep.
With my prediction. I predict that the reason that the three tribes separated again was because of the creation of the internet. Because we've seen them with phones and whatnot and other social media stuff.
Oh yeah, internet, the source of all doom.
Exactly.
Yeah, Fia is now what we call neutral, true neutral. Yes. To me, I have mixed bag of feelings. But if I can say something about the design that doesn't have anything to do with how the pony's anatomy is, for me, the big thing is that they only have cutie mark on one freaking side. Heck! Like,
Wait, really?
yeah,
Really?
they
I thought they didn't have any to begin with. I didn't see
no,
any at all.
a lot of ponies don't have cutie marks, which is maybe something about they don't have much magic anymore, or that it's more common that not everybody find their special talent in life, but they only have cutie mark on one side. And it's like Hasbro, or whoever is in charge. You have had 4 generations, which one we do not talk about, that everybody there have had cutie marks on both sides. And now, all of a sudden, you decide that the newest generation is going to be without the one side because it want to match the toys, or at least the toys that's been before. And I'm just like, what?
Well, it's easier to make
Hasbro wants
toys
to
when they
say-
only have to print a graphic on one side.
Yeah, exactly. Hasbro wants to save some pennies.
I don't like it.
It just throws me off because Izzy's voice actress is the same one as Horse from Centaur World, and
Yes.
That's fantastic.
I hear her voice and I keep expecting her to like talk about like ultra violence. Not 'cause that was why there was like in Centaur World.
You know, she's also the voice of Webby's best friend from DuckTales. I forgot her name.
That's phenomenal.
Oh God.
So
All
yeah.
right. So I have some G5 action figures. It does look like
Already?
they are educated on one side. Yeah, already.
Wow.
I was on a
This is
outing with some of our guys at Walmart. They had a whole bunch of G5 action figures, so of course I had to buy them.
but this is Hasbro we're talking about here. They'll be like,
On the toy, it's only printed on one side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say, Fia?
Oh.
this is Hasbro we're talking about. They'll be like, the movie's like a month away. Toys are on the shelf.
Oh.
It's true.
Ugh.
What
I mean,
toy
what's
is
the
the
From
show?
Climax on the box.
So I
Wha-
got
what-
a. Sorry, go ahead.
What playset is G5 going to try to sell us?
I don't know. I got a like 6-7 inch tall Princess Petals Zip, and then what's her name, Star Scout.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
And they didn't have an Izzy, and I was so pissed. Like they had a smaller size set that had her in it, but like they didn't have a large one, and I was extremely upset.
They better release an Izzy toy with tennis ball stabbing action.
Yeah, that should.
They had better. Like I will burn their headquarters down if they don't.
That's
Always
a bit
remember
extreme.
to protect your horn.
Like the only.
That is not a bit extreme. That is a reasonable thing for
Also,
a fan to expect.
You gotta apply some logic when it comes to why she ended up having a tennis ball. Like, she was visiting royalties. And, you know, safety is very important. And that's why, oh, she has a pointy stuffy. Let's baby-proof it. Puts a tennis ball.
Well, I mean, now that we've seen the longer trailer, I think it's because she was in the grocery store and they had lots of cans of beans. And, you know, it was the only way to be safe.
You know, I never thought a unicorn's horn was sharp enough to pierce a tennis ball. So, and that makes situations in G4 when unicorns just charge head first towards enemies with their horns out more.
So you have
threatening.
never heard the bit of wisdom.
Look. The reason why they all had horns is because they just put horns on the helmet sometimes, which means when the Pegasi did it, it was literally just the winged Hussars arriving.
Oh, legit. Like, actual fact. As they say, a unicorn is just a horse who can stab you. Like, that implies sharp horns.
Also, what did you post? Oh, it's a toy. Dusty Cat posted a toy in the Chatty Weddy. And it's like a movie royal racing zipline.
That's kind of disturbing.
What?
That is 100% going to be like a whole thing in the movie. 100%. They're gonna be sliding down a slide, and there's gonna be it's gonna be a whole sequence.
I feel there's going to be a part in the show where the new character, the one who's loves the original main six, I predict there's going to be a point in the movie where she says, "Oh no, my fanfics."
Only hope.
The sacred texts.
Can I just point out that I scroll down here and I see the miniature figures for them, and I go, yeah, I could. $11. I could definitely have something made that's higher quality than that for $11. What the hell, Hasbro?
Yeah, but does it come with a box of accessories?
Like all their official like plushies, I'm like, no, I could just call somebody and get something like 10 times better than this.
Yeah, their official plushies are sort of an abomination.
It really is.
I try not to think about them.
Yeah. Sad.
Although I
Sorry, I
dumpster
made
dived
you think about them.
I dumpster dived for a whole bunch of
Somewhere
memes.
thinks that they are the best.
Someone should write a story where Hasbro plushie accurate pony is in Equestria.
Oh god.
That would be horrifying. I was legit thinking about going the opposite direction, and then I remembered we're in a safe from work chat. And I can't say my idea.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But to put yeah, Fiora?
I don't think I'm allowed to write many more stories. I'm pretty sure after that court case, Hasbro's super mad at me.
Yeah. Better leave that to somebody else who's not in the spotlight already.
Yeah.
I mean, if they ever sue me, I'm just gonna give them like crappy minivans until they stop. just tell them it's the only thing of value I've got is this 1998 minivan that's hit 6 deer.
It hasn't really hit 6 deer. How is that so
A lot of deer.
It's amazing what you can do with zip ties and sheet metal screws to keep something running.
Wait. They're deer. It's not a moose.
Exactly. Like they're small. It doesn't do that much damage.
They're not walking auto insurance claims.
Like, I do know my insurance agent on a first name basis, but that's neither here nor there.
Huh.
My insurance agent hates me. Because my truck is legally salvaged. So they're like, have you done enough repairs to make it not salvage yet? Nope. So you still have the New Jersey tags on it? Yep. Aren't those like 5 years expired? Yep.
See, now mine, it's been on more than one occasion. It's been, I tell them something and they're like, we can't insure that. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Like, I tried to get my boat insured one time. And so the insurance agent asked me questions like, what kind of boat is it? And I'm like, well, it's a custom-built racing boat from the 60s. They're like, nope.
Yeah, no, that does not sound like a good idea. Nope.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Like, well, I just put a picture of my old minivan on Discord after a repair.
This car looks too angry to
Oh,
die.
sweetie, no.
You actually stapled the bumper back.
Oh, sweet little bean.
We had zip ties in the shop that were cheap. I wasn't gonna pay $100 for a bumper.
It looks like you're gonna cosplay for Halloween.
I mean, with a car that year, you could probably go out to a dump and take one off of like an abandoned one.
Oh, I totally could have, but that would have been effort. And like I say,
That looks like the car that looks like the car that tells Lightning McQueen the mistakes it made in life to teach him the error of his ways.
Pretty much.
Oh.
And the sad thing is, like, that was when that van was still reasonably nice.
Aw.
Does the hood not is the hood now misaligned too?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hit that deer hard.
It's off center.
I kind of pounded things back into shape, and it's good enough.
Like it doesn't look like it has dents in it or like it's bent. It just looks off center.
Yeah,
You're supposed
yeah.
to live an exciting. You're supposed to live an exciting life, not a long one.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
So
Okay,
here
look,
it is a few years later being also misused.
Oh, poor baby. What are you doing to your car?
I think
Well,
Vivid
the
can
rest
relate.
is Michigan, so.
Yeah, and legit, I can't even tell you, and I'm being totally honest here, I can't even tell you the number of cars they bought that were actually on their way to a junkyard.
Okay, Admiral Biscuit, I need to clarify this for my own sanity. Please tell me that's a camper for a camping trip and that's not your house.
No, that's not my house. It's a storage shed, essentially.
Was it also on the way to a scrapyard?
Yeah, pretty much. I bought it for $300 with no title and roof leaks. And I was like, I can't build a storage shed for that price, so why not?
So my undergrad roommate bought a Volkswagen and then sold me their Ford Ranger from 2001 for $500. The Ford Ranger still runs. The Volkswagen died less than a year later.
This one guy that I know, and I can't really say anything more for just potential legal reasons. We bought a car that was also a Ford Ranger. The frame had broken on it, and he was in desperate need for a vehicle. And so we welded some pieces in place to hold everything together, and told him, $200, it's yours. It can never come to this town. And some years later, he was still driving with barely functional brakes and no power steering. It terrified me to drive it across a grass lawn. And for all I know, he's still driving it.
I hashtag not sponsored. Sorry, go ahead.
I've driven Sans power steering. That sucks.
Yeah.
What did you say, Vivid?
I didn't say anything.
I need to follow who's actually... Sorry, I'm still learning the voices to the names. I need to be better at this by this.
The handsome voice is mine.
You just
I
met
disagree.
you just met like everyone but one person in this call.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be upset if you missed. I wouldn't be upset if you called me Heartshine and called Heartshine Biscuit.
Oh yeah, no.
Now I'm just imagining a Biscuit and Heartshine having a fandom baby, and it's heart-shaped biscuit.
Fiora, how many fandom babies do you have already?
17.
Why did that mix in Fiora? Fiora's not the one having the baby.
Because-
No,
Because at High Roller Pony Con it was my birthday. Like actually day of the con was my birthday.
Hey!
And my friends decided to embarrass the hell out of me by shipping me and Silver Quill and giving us ship babies. And then the first and only shadow box I own is Silver Quill, Wandering Sunrise, and our ship babies.
Do I dare to ask?
A1 and Tater.
Oh, tater tots! That's cute.
Except for the fact that one of them's actually eating Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No, poor baby. Oh, poor baby. Oh, sadness. Well, yeah. Moving on. I don't know what to say anymore. Okay.
I'm still a little bit traumatized.
Traumatized? Why were you traumatized?
I was trying to imagine a fandom baby with me and Heartshine.
Yeah, it would probably be a bat or earth pony. But it would be named Heartshine.
Earth pony with fluffy ears.
Yeah! It would be a very fluffy earth
would
pony.
be-
Yeah!
It would
Yeah,
be
it
an
would be
Earth
like
Pony
this.
What did you say, Fiora?
It would be an Earth Pony with fluffy ears and heterochromia, and it would be the plainest looking brown bat pony in the world.
Yeah! That sounds
I'll say-
nice!
Yeah, that or I'll start looking like the Yakushin horses that people have been drawing up. Like they've been
Oh,
really
they're so
popular recently.
adorable.
Oh,
They're
yeah!
so fluffy.
I'm so happy with the fandom right now.
Snowpones! You will be
I'm
the
not
mother
like-
and
what's been
father of
happening with that?
Snowpones. Yeah.
Like my second most recent story had an absolute dumpster fire in the comment section, but we had snow ponies, so it was okay.
Snowpones! Yes, you guys are the mother and father of Snowpones. Aha.
I mean, actually, now I'm cool with that.
Yay!
I'm absolutely 100% cool with that.
So we have heart-shaped cookie, and we need snow frosting. That can be the other one because cold, and cookie.
Perfect. We call it icing here, which seems
good.
appropriate.
Icing, frost icing. Yes.
Frost icing.
That's the very fluffy one, and heart-shaped cookie is the other bat. Yes. This is
Frost
why I had
icing is actually a really great OC name.
That is, it's amazing. Yeah.
Eee.
And it's just like actual frost. No sugar, just like frozen water.
So just wet cookie then?
Yeah, pretty much. But it's
Yeah, they're much
adorable, so
sadder,
nobody's
OC.
mad.
I'm imagining a vanilla bean pony.
Oh, yeah. The cool.
The Starbucks vanilla bean, that cold white drink.
I have no
A
idea.
little
I don't
bean,
go into
then.
Starbucks.
Me neither. That's all I drink, vanilla bean. I don't even drink coffee.
Oh, there you go. I drink tea. Nom, 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 nom.
Approve.
Fiora, how much tea do you have left, by the way?
Of your tea, quite a bit.
Yeah.
I tend to only drink that on special occasions.
Aww, sweetie. Enjoy the tea.
Well, yes, but as far as I'm concerned, like I just go through like I don't know, probably 300 English breakfast or Irish breakfast a month.
Ah. Also, we are.
Yes, I know that's 10 per day. That's about right.
Also, we are sponsored by Snow Pones now. Final site sends his regards. Look, he has a snow pone.
I'm okay with that.
There you are.
I see we have 8 minutes left of the original time that we're supposed to go on for, but it is possible that we can continue longer if you guys have time and want to. But that's something.
I do need to duck out at 6 o'clock. I apologize.
That's okay.
2 hour drive back.
Yeah, I need to duck out as well because I have work stuff. But
yeah, still
I got all the busy people for you, Chris.
Yay!
I need to get ready for Christmas.
Wait, what?
It's September.
Yeah, I know. Gotta get those Christmas lights up.
You underestimate how slow he can be.
That's why you buy.
He is like the sloth from Zootopia.
But that's why you buy Christmas presents early.
Wait, if he's like the sloth from Zootopia, does that mean he gets like 100 speeding tickets?
Yes.
I wouldn't be
Hey.
That explains where all Enigma's money goes. It goes to his niece for speeding tickets.
Yes.
That implies that my niece is driving around high speeds on the roads.
Yes.
Well, someone's got to be Gunner.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's got to man the heavy machine gun.
Yeah. Apparently, that's legal in America.
Probably.
That's why they call it shotgun.
The sad part is it is legal.
Aww. Oof. So this has been quite interesting. Like.
Indeed.
So.
I agree.
I forgot my question. Do you guys have anything you want to ask? Me or the chat or each other?
Look at the quiet people.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I'm racking my brain trying to sit here and like think of something thoughtful and interesting. You'd think that I'd be like on an interview podcast and like ask people questions.
Yeah, who would ever believe that?
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Oh, we do have a question in chat from Rutkib, one of my mods. Question for Admiral Biscuit. Will there be any updates to the Onto the Pony Planet sometime soon?
I can't promise soon, but there is a chapter 35 that is in progress very, very, very slowly.
Yay! Slow but steady.
Actually, I have a fun closing question. What's everybody working on?
Ooh.
Like in terms of stories on FimFiction?
Anything.
So multiple things. Writing wise, I'm working on trying to finish before the end of the year the novel I've been working on FimFic for the better part of a decade. I really want to get it done and just kind of close that chapter and move on and then figure out what the next sort of thing is. I'm also getting ready to go into travel to the recording studio to get some professional recording done.
Ooh.
So there's a lot going on.
That's obviously.
I am working.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Those are adorable.
I currently have, according to my whiteboard, currently an editing fic called Hobo about a pony on Earth who basically hops trains for fun. A story about a human in Equestria trying to fit in while she runs a Trader Joe's. Another chapter update to my Taco Bell espionage fic. a currently unpublished story called Yes.
Taco Bell espionage?
Well, yeah, because ponies love Taco Bell. And if they can't get a franchise license, then they're going to have to figure out how to make it on their own. Pretty straightforward.
Okay.
There you go.
And a unpublished fic called Pegasus Rescue Brigade, which is about Pegasi working for the U.S. Coast Guard. Another chapter of Onto the Pony Planet, and a fic about Pegasi having to follow FAA aviation rules called Mareplane. A fic that's been sort of in progress since 2012 called Stained Glass, and one that I'm debating what to do about that was a troll fic to annoy one of the site moderators that I haven't decided if I should ever actually publish or if I should just never publish it.
I get distracted by Taco
And a few
Pony.
blogs. Taco Pony is best pony.
Taco Pony, Taco Tuesday. I can't say it like she does. Sorry.
That's a
Taco Pony
lie.
does work,
I can. I just tried. I failed.
That's a lot. That makes me feel lazy.
It is what it is. It's
Don't minimize the accomplishments you've already made, though.
True.
You
Yeah, I
do
usually
that to
have,
me all the
like-
time.
You're different.
Is it because you do that to him all the time that he strives to do even more accomplishments so he can get approval?
Yes.
Aw, poor baby.
Oh, okay.
So it was probably weird that I've just beat up on Enigma for 2 hours. Him and I are both on a podcast called The Barcast, where we interview people for the better part of like 5 years, and that's our rapport. That's our friendship.
Wait, that was our friendship?
Shut up.
I've been on there twice. I can testify this is the case.
You've actually been on there 4 times.
Wait, I've been on there 4 times?
Yes. I had to go actually on Spotify and check. I know it's 4 minimum.
Oh, it's the one with
I'm
Milk,
an
right?
adult.
Milk is also.
I'm sorry?
Milk is also there.
Yeah,
Very-
Mike's Night Milk. He originated the podcast, yes.
Ah, cool. He showed me the Safe for Work version where he had a voice actor from the show. It was really fun.
Yeah, no, they're really, really wonderful. We've had great quotes from Andrea Lemon, like, is this a microphone? Tabitha St. Germain said, why are you following me? And John Delancey said, can we not do this right now? And it was really wonderful.
Ah, fun.
Really?
And I had the voice of Starlight Glimmer yell quiet at me.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume people yell at
I'm being
you
terribly
because you're
sarcastic,
you.
by the way.
One more time, Fiora.
Anyway. I said I just assume people yelled at Enigma because that's what he liked.
It's true.
Ah. Well, by that, we have also hit the 2-hour mark.
Yay!
Yay.
Great job,
Team.
everybody.
Yay!
Yay.
Yes, come to Ciderfest, or if you're
Yeah,
in Europe,
PonyCon's
come
again,
to
they're great.
Holland.
Yeah, hold on,
If you're
PonyCon.
in
Anyway,
Europe, come to Holland.
Come to
Oh
Holland.
yeah, everybody. Anyway, come to TrotCon for Christmas.
I'm going to TrotCon, and maybe at Cider Fest I may not be. It depends.
Mm.
I'm at all 3 of these events.
Huzzah.
Because you're awesome.
No, I'm
Yes.
just wondering when I volunteer for this, and then I'm reminded I'm voluntold.
Because you're awesome.
People want to have you around. You're nice to have around, so they want you more around. Yay.
Yay.
So yeah, you guys.
You've got a lab coat, and that like gives you authority.
Yes.
Well, I'll answer my own question before I go. Right now, I'm working on figuring out if we're going to do more Dead Tree or not.
Aw.
Oh.
Well, because I just published the 3rd book of it, and it's basically up to people to go leave reviews however they can to let me know if I should or shouldn't. In the meantime, I have a collaboration with a guy who's getting off of the Games Workshop train because Games Workshop turned around and were a bunch of, well, insert whatever insult you want to put here. Remember, I didn't say it, you thought of it. And a bunch of creators are jumping ship, and he's one of them, and I like him, so I'm writing 3 stories for him. One is a Warframe story, one is a BattleTech story, and one is something wholly original that I've been working on for about a year, and I'm like, if you'll read this, I'll write it. And he's like, yes, I want this. I'm like, okay.
Wait, you're writing a BattleTech story?
Yes, I'm writing a Warframe story first, then a BattleTech
Okay.
story, and then a wholly original sci-fi piece will be coming out around Christmas.
All right, so I have a very important question about the BattleTech story. What mech is the main character piloting?
Good question.
All right, so I'll give you a hint.
Ooh.
Since
Okay.
you know BattleTech.
Yes, I do.
Skull.
Ah, okay.
That explains everything.
That's fair. That's Big Stompy is biggest Stompy.
And then I've started writing a novel that I now regret because I looked to see if I could get out of the contract and I really can't afford to. I'm supposed to write a novel for Games Workshop.
What? What?
I'm being
Writing contracts are rough.
I applied for a Games Workshop has a tenure track system. It's why a bunch of their authors basically write for them forever. And I noticed a position open and I applied for it, and they read the work I already had out and looked at me and said, "Okay, we'll give you a shot." So I have 17 months and 2 weeks to finish that particular novel
Oh.
and see what they think of it. And if they don't publish it, I'm allowed to just release it as fan fiction. And if they do publish it, I get $80,000.
Woo!
Woohoo.
That's nice.
So, yay!
Yay! Yay!
I'm working for corporate sociopaths.
Yay!
Yay!
Tell yourself, make money, do crime.
No! No crime. Bad pony.
Make money, do crime, be gay.
Woo!
Oh boy.
I've done three of these things.
Anyway.
I apologize, but I do need to drop off.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Chris, thank you so much for having us.
Say your
Thank
goodbyes,
you,
people.
All right, bye.
See you, everybody. Love you all. Come to Ciderfest. Bye.
See ya.
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah. Thank you everybody so much for being here and joining me. Thank you to everybody who showed up, and thank you to my moderators for keeping the tweety weety safety wafy. Thank you very much, and everybody who showed up. By this, I think we're gonna raid Armageddon, as I call him. His name is not Armageddon, it's Argo Demon, because he's awesome.
Argo Damon.
Yeah,
He's great.
he's awesome. He's awesome. Yeah. This thing needs to get ready so I can click on the stuffy wuffy. Thank you. Stay safe and stay kind and stay brown, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
And a 1 and a 2.